Hey CV crew, and welcome to those who are new. I'm Val, and today we are going to be crafting for Easter. So let's get into the video. Okay, so for my first craft, I'm going to be making Easter candy jars. Out of these jars, I purchased from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to use some vinyl. Let's see if I can get this off smoothly without it leaving any residue. Got it. This one didn't do as well. There's still some on there, but I'll get that a little later. All right, this is going to be a very quick weed for these two. So what I am doing with these jars, of course it looks like I'm doing the same color, but I'm actually using these as a stencil. So I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna get my jar cleaned off. Obviously I'm gonna use this side because this side has the measurements on it. I saw this idea on Pinterest. I was just looking for some inspiration and I found this idea. You know, whenever you need a little inspiration, you can always look on, like you can Google some stuff, you can look on Pinterest if you have an account. Of course, you can look on Instagram and get some inspiration from YouTubers. All right, so we're gonna take this and put this here. So I just want to get this, and I'm going to show you how we're going to use this as a stencil. I just want to sit this up to no. Okay, hold on. All right. Instead of sitting it up, I'm just going to stand up so I can really see. Okay, so burnish this down, and that went on pretty smoothly, no issues. And then I'm actually going to do both of them right now. I want to get both stencils on the glass, and because this is a stencil, it obviously won't be staying on the cup. I have some bubbles in here, but it'll be okay because the sides are the most important to make sure that they're down. Let's do this one. Okay, now that we have both the stencils down, I am going to paint. Of course, I had to get the stencils down before I could do any painting. This is why I also decided to do this one first, so I can give it some time to dry. Oh. And this is just, this is called Pink Blast. It's from Michael's, but you can get these small bottles of paint from different places. I believe my other bottle is from Hobby Lobby. So wherever you buy your paint from. And this is acrylic paint. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and paint this entire jar. And yes, I'm gonna paint right over the stencil. And this I've never tried before, so I am hoping that it comes out pretty good. Okay, you guys, so I finished painting both of them. I think I like the blue paint by Folk Art a little better for this because it's thicker. The Craft Smart, the pink, is a lot thinner than this, but we'll see how they both look when they dry. So I'm gonna clean up and we're gonna move on to the next project. Okay, so this next project is really simple. It's just a gift bag that I want to put some vinyl on. The jars that I'm making for my children, I plan to make for my nephew as well. So I'm going to put his jar in this bag. And this, again, will be a pretty quick weed. All of the vinyl I'm using is Oracle 651, which can be purchased at Michael's. And you can also purchase it on Amazon, but I'm going to have everything linked below. I absolutely love these colors, and we got a bit of a color scheme going on. Well, you know, everything is not completely matchy, at least I don't think so. But we do have a little bit of a color scheme going on here. All right, let's get his bag together. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna use my this paper transfer tape, which works really well on bags, because if you don't know, paper transfer tape has less tack to it, so it's less sticky, and it doesn't stick as much to paper, which means you're not ripping up your bag or your box or whatever it is whatever paper material you might be putting something on. Let's see, I'm gonna cut a little bit of this off so I can make sure that I am as centered as possible. Let's see. That seems about good. Yes, all right, there we go. Always try to include my nephew in my Easter crafting. Last year on my channel, I made something for him as well. And I'm gonna I'm gonna cut it again because I have this tiny piece right here, and I don't need to have all of that transfer tape in the way. But this roll, since I don't use it that often, I've had it for a very long time. definitely, I believe now it's definitely been over 2 years, or at least 2 years. So I'm gonna get the bunny tail on. There we go. And then let's get his name on. This will work, but it's just a tiny bit too small. I've already used some of this, so let's just go ahead and use some more. Cut it down to the exact size we need. All right, here we go. And then we're gonna just take his name and go right across. Let me see. Hold on, I just wanna make sure I'm even for the most part. That looks okay. There we go. Very simple. And if you have several children to give, if you're not making the traditional Easter basket, you can do something like this. Just get a few bags. This bag is from Dollar Tree, and Dollar Tree sells like 3 in a pack, so you can get a few if you're making it for a few children, and get like a silhouette of an image, whether it be like a carrot or bunny or an egg, and there you go. It looks good. I love the colors together. All right, let's move on to the next craft. Okay, you guys, so for my next craft, I have never done this before. So we are going to experiment together. You're gonna watch me try to make this work. So I also saw this on Pinterest, and I got this cross from Hobby Lobby. I also got this pack of napkins from Hobby Lobby, but of course you can get your Easter napkins wherever you can find Easter napkins that you like. I like these because really they were just the pastel colors. I like that they were simple, really. That's really what I liked about them, that it fits perfectly. Okay. Now, apparently you are supposed to pull this apart. You know how you have the 2-ply. So you pull this apart, and you don't need the white portion. And then I just turned on my heat press because we're gonna need it for this. Y'all keep following me. I'm telling you, when I saw it, I said, oh, I have to give this a try. Open it from here. And then you get some plastic wrap. Again, this is from Dollar Tree. And then you lay the plastic wrap down on your wooden surface. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this down. Okay, we got the plastic wrap over the cross, and now we're going to, I'm gonna see, there's a little spot on this one. Let me see if this one is better. Okay, so you put you have your wooden surface, you put the plastic wrap down, and then you put your piece of napkin over top of the plastic wrap. Now I have my Easy Press Mini set to medium. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how high this heat should be, but I started on medium because we can always turn it up if it needs to go up, which I don't think it will need to, but we'll see. And then you just iron it on here. So far, it's working. Okay, you guys, it worked. And medium seemed to have been the perfect temperature. I just want to make sure it's not lifting on any of the sides. Aware of that. I'm going to turn it over and just remove the excess. And I'm going to use my True Control knife, whatever crafting knife you may have. I'm hoping that this works. Okay, I have just this little piece here to cut off, and I'm finding that if I put pressure on the cross itself as I'm cutting, that helps to give a sharper cut. I just decided, let's put some more pressure on this, and it started cutting so much easier. All right, I got it all off. I'm just cleaning up some of these edges here, and I'm sure you could take a piece of sandpaper, sanding block, and just go along the edges to clean them up. All right, let's see how it came out. Okay, it looks pretty good. There's a little bit of like distressing here, but I think I like it. And I guess that's just from me cutting. But it still came out pretty good. First try at this. I am going to poke a hole in here because this is where my twine is supposed to go. So just cut that little circle out. All right, and now we have our hole back so we can still hang it. But it came out really good. Oh my goodness. And of course, depending on which napkin you use, it will look different. Like I said, I wanted something that would be simple, that gave you those like pastel Easter colors, but it didn't have like rabbits and eggs and all of those things all over it. It just had some color. So we have a piece of wordless art here, and I just have to get this back in here. Bingo. And then we're ready to hang it. I'm gonna tie that up, but it looks good. Very good. All right, let's move on. Okay, so I have this blue glass that I got from Hobby Lobby, and it is with their spring collection, so they may not have any more or may not have many. Let's get this. But when I saw it, I knew I had to have it. So I'm gonna get this cleaned off with some rubbing alcohol. This is going to be a simple design. So it simply says, "He is risen." And I have two pink crosses here. Come on, can we not do that? Okay, I got it to cooperate. It was trying to cause bubbles and things like that. Like, I don't want bubbles, not in my vinyl. So you will see this glass again in a couple months because, like I said, we're gonna give it a summer look once we get closer to the summer. And I'm gonna put this right here, not too close to the top because, you know, vinyl is not food safe, so you don't want to put your mouth on it. But I'm pretty sure I will not be using this glass without the straw and the lid. 9 times out of 10, the lid and the straw will be inside. All right. And I really loved this color. I thought it would pop well on this blue. So let's see. Oh yeah, definitely. I'm gonna cut a small piece for these crosses. Maybe I can, hold on. Maybe I can do the cross, just like lift it up with my weeding tool. Yeah, let's do that. I had it, I think in Design Space, I had it here. Bingo. And we'll take that one. And I wanted it a little bit right there. And that's it. Super, super simple. He is risen. I love it. It looks good. I love the colors. I love this lavender and pink up against the blue. Okay, so I got this wooden block from Michaels, and it's by Make Market. And it came with this natural wood color, but I painted it white. And what I plan to do is iron these on to the box. So I'm gonna get this weeded out. And this is printable, this is printable vinyl. So I just chose my images, which I got all of them from Creative Fabrica. And I will, of course, link them for you below. If you're interested, you can find them there. Okay, I got them all weeded out. Somehow, my Happy Easter one is way too big, and I don't know. I sized them all at the same time, and I thought I sized them all appropriately, but clearly the Happy Easter is too big. But I am going to go ahead and get these 4 down, and then I'll just reprint this and put it on the top because there's no way it's going to fit. As you can see, it's like hanging off the sides there. So I'm going to iron this on. I'm going to start with the sides and start with this little cutie here and put this here. And I'm going to zoom in a bit. Okay, so I got her on there, and I'm going to take some parchment paper to cover it up so there's no issues with my heat press. My heat press is still on medium, that second wavy line. And let's see how this works, because I've never done this before either. I have ironed vinyl onto wood before, but I've never done printable heat transfer vinyl. So let's see. Yes, it's good. All right, let's flip to the opposite side. I'm gonna put this little cutie on here. He's so cool. He is too cool. All right, I have all 4 sides done. Like I said, I'm going to reprint this one, and so I can put it on the top here. And then once I do that, I'll show it to you guys again. But this is good. This is definitely some very fun decor to have, just with all the little pictures. Okay, so I did reprint it and I pressed it off camera. So now our box is done. And I believe when I first started reading them, I said that they were all from Creative Fabrica, but as I thought about it a little more, I realized that they're not. The carrot with the ears are from Design Space, and this Happy Easter is from Canva, but the other 3 are from Creative Fabrica. And again, if you're interested, everything is in the description box down below. Okay, let's bring in the mason jars. All right, I have the jars here. They have dried pretty well. At the moment, I have to let y'all know I'm a little nervous, because I'm like, please let the vinyl remove nicely. So let's see. Let's pray. All right, I'm gonna go slow because I don't want to disturb any of the paint around it, but so far it's okay. Okay, I'm gonna stop. All right, you guys. So we have a win and we have an epic fail. So let's show the win. Look at that. That came out lovely. Let's show the epic fail. Okay. It is awful. So here's what I think. Remember I said I think I liked this paint better? By the way, I did do a second coat of the paint on both, but remember I said I liked this paint better because it was thicker? Well, maybe if I was using it on something else, maybe if I wasn't doing a stencil and I was just putting a couple coats of paint over maybe like a box or something like that, it would be fine. But with this, trying to do it as a stencil, no good. So this one, I'm gonna just have to do it all over again because there's no way I would give him this at all. But I'm so happy that this one came out, and I guess because since this one wasn't so thick, the paint, that it obviously peeled a lot better. So let's finish this one and put the lid on. Actually, let's not put the lid on because, hold on. The whole point was this being a candy jar. So I'm gonna put the candy in, and I just have the Easter color kisses. My daughter likes them, so I'm gonna fill hers up. Okay, and then I put the lid on. And then I have a piece of ribbon here. I got this, it says Happy Easter and has like little bunny feet on them. I got this last year from Michael's. And let's see, how long do I want this to be? There we go. So we have our bow, we can see the candy, and actually for my sons, I'm going to put M&Ms in his. So that is the finished product, and let's bring all the crafts back in the camera. All right, we have all of the crafts back in the camera. I love the simplicity of my glass, and I also know that I can change it up later on this year if I'd like. The candy jar came out so good. And I also learned a little, so I know I need to change the paint for the other two glasses, the other two jars that I make, but this one just came out beautifully. And my nephew's bag is cute with his name on it, so he can get his Easter stuff from us. And I just love this block. It's so cute. It just a fun decor piece, and the experiment that went very well. So if you do try it, just know you can try any wood piece, of course, any napkin that you like. And I do plan to try to do something for this when Christmas rolls around again. So I'm glad I learned something new and I could share it with you all. Thanks so much for hanging out with me as I crafted for Easter. I hope you enjoyed the video. You learned a little something. Maybe you'll go and create something from what you saw here. And before you go, don't forget to like, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on your bell notifications so you don't miss a future video of mine. Until next time, later CV crew.